election wakavhoteri
No, unosapota party ipi wewe? Unosapota party ipi? Uri party ripi wewe? Uri party ipi? Choose uri party ipi?
vabirira but you know tinovabata next time but vabirira timi rabirira vabirira vana birira irevo iwe 7 aita 10 tawina takashanda takasenza tawina so president kada vakati ichoka party so wopundonono kapost imomo mukati imomo tawina kuwina ere tawina takasenza takavarowa tawina. Hey guys, how are you doing? Hey guys, what is say? Welcome to Road to 2023 general elections here on Prince Mila Entertainment TV. Remember guys to like, share, comment and follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Prince Mila Entertainment, Facebook, Prince Mila Entertainment. We're also available on our Facebook group, which is Prince Mila Entertainment TV. We're also available on Sai application. Our podcast is Prince Mila Podcast. Just go there on Sai and be part of us. And today is the 2nd of March 2022. As we prepare for my elections, my general elections that go next year, and we'll be talking a lot about my reforms, and my reforms are needed because at the moment you're going violence as we are talking about my by-elections also. And saka mutole mega utoti pakaipa. And so the political and economic reform agenda has dominated Zimbabwe political discourse for over 2 decades, but consensus remains distant because the ruling ZANU-PF party is rebuffed attempts at every turn as it views such talk as foreign sponsored regime change agenda. For the ruling party, reforms are about correcting discriminatory historical legacies, buttressing its political hegemony against growing opposition to its misrule, and feeding political patronage and self-enrichment. President Emerson Mnangagwa appears to have confidently forgotten his inauguration pledge to institute sweeping reforms and choosing the easier path that guarantees him a long stay in office. If only the president could be reminded that no regime is permanent, the better for him. Both him and everyone else like-minded must learn to adjust to the reality. Change will certainly happen in the same manner. This happened during the First Republic, and it during our time. Change within ZANU-PF or outside is possible. This is despite that Mnangagwa has over the past 4 years done to make some changes that have enriched his hold on power and dispense with any pretense to being democratic. He changed the constitution to give himself power to choose his own deputies, handpick judges, essentially creating an imperial presidency. Opposition formations and civil groups, on the other hand, view reforms as an opportunity to strengthen governance, the rule of law, and tackle the array of democratic deficiencies that underwrites ZANU-PF's incumbency. So, as long as the governing party keeps its hardline stance, expecting for far-reaching reforms to be implemented ahead of the March 26 by-elections and the 2023 general elections would be like waiting for God to do it. The opposition should consider itself its own worst enemy after it flagged a golden opportunity to push through the agenda when it commanded the parliamentary majority during the Morgan Tsvangirai era. Instead, the opposition legislators slept at the wheel and allowed ZANU-PF crawl out of the woods to reclaim its political dominance again. And now that the opposition representation in the House has been relegated to an afterthought, a civil group faces an existential threat. Chances of successful rekindling the debate are next to zero. The NPF is on several occasions made it clear that it would not reform itself out of power and seems determined to block any changes that make it vulnerable. While we hold no brief for the opposition, we believe reforms are for the common good and should not be sacrificed on the altar of political expediency. Besides promoting good governance, they also help in leveling the political playing field to ensure that the next elections do not produce contested results. Some of the notable changes involve demilitarization of the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, which is a key requirement if the country is to avoid another contested electoral outcome. Therefore, a more robust approach, both publicly and behind closed doors, is necessary to keep the flame alive. This time around, stakeholders must have clear benchmarks and timeframes to ensure it doesn't become another exercise in futility, but a real move to entrench a rule of law and good governance. With the general elections just about a year ahead, key stakeholders have to ratchet up the pressure and avoid being railroaded into another election before implementing of the necessary reforms. And ndonya yatutala today nyaya reforms and yes we use ZANU-PF the government itself reform kana kuti changola machingodzwa nyaya yangodzi reforms and in the 28 in 2008 actually the time of government of national unity. I still think that was the key time, which I do agree, for the opposition political parties. They were pushing nyama reforms at that time. Pangwane a number of people in the parliament. But instead, Papa Kaipa, and yes, Takanganwa, because many people were actually earning good salaries at that time, 2008. Saka zvema reforms is hapana munayambo day kutana nezvazvo. Everybody was just focusing on the economy. But we're now in 2022. We are looking forward for my elections that go in 2023, whereby my reforms are very crucial. At the moment, tukona ma political violence are critical. We're in 2022. Asiti tambonzwa kana advert yavachamisa iri radio kana kuti iri TV and ZBC TV ringokava ZANU-PF chete. Saka ndinoona kuti ma-reforms are very necessary so that my political parties upo time yoku campaign by national TV coverage by radio. At the same time, mapurisa they're actually giving the opposition political parties tight restrictions panyaya yekuholda rallies and tichitara zvakare nyaya yezec zec iri kuemploya ma-ex military guys anga vari kuma-CIO anga vari masoja anga vari vakomana veku-intelligence ari kushanda kuzec. Ndo zviri kunetsa kuti okay, if these guys are being employed with ZEC, zvinorevei? And ZEC should employ regular people, not vanhu vakabva ku-military boards. We've seen it over the years. Even in 2017, I didn't know that Chiwenga is a ZANU-PF person until that once he's the guy who's been tipped to be the vice president of Zimbabwe. I was like, what? Vice president? The next thing, the man is wearing a ZANU-PF regalia. I'm like, oh shit. So all the time anga ZANU-PF here. Saka which means kuti whoever is coming from the military or is coming from the police or from wherever in the security sector, he or she is aligned to the ruling party. Saka many opposition political parties that they are saying that we need more reforms, we need ZEC to be demilitarized. I know Justice Priscilla Jugomba vakati zvoni. Saka muda kuti isusu tiregere kuemploya ex-military people. I mean, no, those guys, they deserve to be employed. As you kuti kana wasiya basa ku-military auchaemployiwa. Yes, my positions are ariko. You guys, you can be employed as special advisors to the president or special advisors to the security department. And pane ma positions aripo that you guys can qualify, but panyaya my elections I still feel that ZEC needs to be demilitarized, and is the government needs to be demilitarized again, because some of these guys are everywhere now, and once wangosiya ku-army chete nwatonzi post mugovernment yakadaiswa vakuto redeploywa. Saka mutolemeka kutoti pakaipa, and so nyaya yema-reforms nyaya yakakosha, because by-elections ariko 26 March 2022. We're going to be talking a lot about them here on the road to 2023 elections, which are actually free and fair, because at the moment more political parties are kwanisa kucampaigna because of nyaya political violence iri kuitika, nyaya yekurovana, nyaya yekunzi zvoni nhasi hapana rally because vanhu venyu whatsoever. Saka motolemeka kutoti the playing field is not level to hold a free and fair elections. So changona zvakaitika in 2018 happening again pamaby elections apa kana zvakagadziswa zvakare we're gonna see it again in 2023 for my general elections. And so guys, takoti tingotaura nyaya panapa and saying that credible reforms are the only way forward for our country, for our Zimbabwe to move forward. And yes, otherwise changoramba tingori panzvimbo 1 and we're still gonna be talking a lot about it. And it's almost like 4 to 5 years and the government was supposed to reform because the Mhlahla Commission vakapawo recommendations avakapa implementwa zvakare. Saka mutonemeka kuti tiri kumashure when it comes to nyaya dzemareforms. Then PF is saying, you know what, reforms haangoitika overnight. It takes time, but I don't know what kind of time do they need. I know that 10 years, 20 years for them to reform. Saka pakaipa. So guys, this is road to 2023 general elections. You're watching Prince Milan Entertainment TV. Remember guys to like, share and comment, and urge you guys to go out there and register to vote and be counted, be a voter, because zvakakosha kuvhota kwagara kwakosha because kunoita kuti ukwanisa kuchuza mayor, ukwanisa kuchuza councillor, yes, MP, president, and because the future of our kids is in our hands. Takasavhota, some people gonna make decisions for us, and because we're social media to complain, it's not gonna help anything, it's not gonna solve anything at all. I solve it kuyapanapa tichikomenda tichitasei hazvibatsiri because tinenge sina kuvhota. So we need to go out there and register to vote and actually vote on the voting day. It's very, very, very important. And so we're gonna keep you guys in the loop regarding my by-elections and also to my general elections article and next year in 2023 here at Road to 2023 general elections. My name is Prince. Thank you very much for listening and watching, guys. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow us Instagram, Facebook, and also on Twitter, and also on SciSci application. Our podcast is the Prince Miller Podcast. Just look for it, subscribe there, and be part of us, be part of this big family here on Prince Miller Entertainment TV. Road to 2023 general elections. Bless up.
Election. Wakavhotera unosapota pati ipi wewe? Unosapota pati ipi? Uri pati ripi wewe? Uri pati ipi? Choose uri pati ipi?
Vabirira but you know, tinowabata next time but vabirira team rabirira vabirira birira ere iwe 7 aita 10 tawina takashanda takasenza tawina. So president kada vakati ichoka party so wopundu unono wakapost imomo mukati imomo tawina kuwina ere tawina takasenza takawarowa tawina.